With the next half of BT19, we're finally getting more Tamers support, which a lot of us have been waiting for the follow-up of Gallanmon's line, follow-up of Renamon and Terriermon, which is... They always shaft... Actually, usually I feel like Renamon's line's a little worse than Terriermon's, and Terriermon's is better. Gallanmon, I feel like... Lately, Terriermon was better with the whole Rapidmon X, then Gallanmon X or Gallantmon X Antibody came out, now that takes it. Anyway, let's just jump into it. And I will start with the new Viximon here. So we'll start with the Renamon line and then just work our way through there. Viximon, end of your turn. Once per turn, return one option card with plug in its name from your trash to your hand. That's actually pretty cool because there was really no way of returning stuff besides the old Sakuyamon from EX2, if I'm not mistaken, a Cubimon that had no inherit, but it was when Digivolving. Not sure how well this one is going to be used, since I think the other one lets you draw when you use an option card. So there's that. It's either going to be one or the other. Moving on to the Renamon, the new one. Now for these, all these rookies kind of do the same thing with their start of their main phase. If you have a Rika or Gallantmon, gain 1 memory. Pretty good. I mean, I feel like it's better for Renamon than the other line. Just because with Renamon, you only had Rika that was a memory setter. We got the new Rika, but it's not really used as much. So having this Renamon, moving it up from breeding area, gaining a memory, and then allowing you to extend plays, it's gonna be good. 4-of, I don't know, because we do have the X Antibody and we have the Searcher Renamon. I think those, for the most part, will always be a 4-of. The Inherit, when you use an option card with a cost of 2 or more once per turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2k for the turn. Pretty good, kind of sticking with the whole when you use option plugins minus DP. Cubimon, also with the champions here, when Digivolving, if you have 1 or less Tamers, you may play 1 Rika from a hand without paying its cost. We're seeing this new wave of champions coming about now, which before is, if you don't have, for example, if you don't have a Rika, you may play a Rika. And that sucked because, especially when you would start, you would always have a Tamer. Or like by turn 2, you would drop the Tamer. And you're like, well, now this card's when Digivolving is kind of, you know, dull, or you can't use it now. But that allows you to actually Digivolve, and now if you do have a Tamer or Rika, or, you know, whatever Tamer you're using, then you can drop the other one. So it's really good in that sense. So that is going to be replaced. I think that'll be replaced for Gallantmon for sure. Inherit, same as Renamon, when you use an option card, you get to reduce minus 2k when you use a option card with cost of 2 or more. So they do stack right there, 2 and 4. Taomon, this has been used with the loop, which I actually have not really looked too much into it. But let's talk about this Taomon. So it is a blast ace, right? So when your opponent attacks, then once their one attacking effects resolve, now you have a counter phase, which is even after the blocking phase. You have a counter phase, you can Digivolve for free so long as you meet the requirements. This one has an on play and when Digivolving. If it's your turn, you may use 1 single color option card with the cost of 5 or less from your hand without paying the cost. If it's your opponent's turn, if it's your opponent's turn. For the turn, give one of your opponent's Digimon security attack -1, and that Digimon's when Digivolving effects don't activate. That's pretty good. That's very good. I wonder if they're using it with Kaiser Nail, because I think Kaiser Nail is a 5 cost. Let's see if I spell it right. 4 cost. Okay, I can see this now. Yeah, I can see it. So you would blast Taomon, use Kaiser Nail, bring out your level 4 again, do another Taomon, now use another Kaiser Nail. Man, that's crazy. Inherit, when attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 DP for the turn. That's very good. That's actually good because now you're subtracting -4, another -4 from the champion and or rookie here, the Renamon. That's -8. It's good. I don't know if the EX2 Sakuyamon will still be used. I'm gonna try and use her, but it's good for her because she's only 11,000. And a downfall of that deck when it first came out was that you couldn't swing over things as often as you probably thought. Or it dies in security, so this would have been really broken if it said your opponent's Digimon and security, like the Rapidmon does, the level 4 one. And the new Sakuyamon here, Digivolve from Sakuyamon maid mode for a cost of 1 or 3 from a level 5 yellow. When digivolving, draw 2, then you may use one single color option card with the cost of 5 or less from your hand without paying the cost. That's crazy because just like the Talmon, it doesn't specify the color that you could use, which is why you could use a Kaiser Nail. Use a Kaiser Nail, and I think you could also use Crimson Blaze, and it would stack. So what I mean by that is, let's see, where is it at? Crimson Blaze is 6, right? So it says reduce the memory cost of this card in your hand by 1 for each Digimon your opponent has in play. So if your opponent has 1 Digimon, using this effect from here, it's reduced to 5 because it's in your hand. The effect says it's in your hand. And now with the Sakuyamon effect, you can actually play it for free. It's actually pretty cool. Your turn, once per turn, when you use an option card with the cost of 2 or more, play 1 Kura Kitsune token. It's a yellow Digimon 6000 DPM blocker. That's crazy. So every turn, essentially, you can play out a token, especially if you have Rika, because Rika, when you suspend, right, you suspend the Rika when you attack. So this Rika here, your turn, when your Digimon, Renamon, Cubimon, Talmon, or Sakuyamon in its name attacks, you may suspend this Tamer and use one option card with plug-in in its name in your hand. So that will help you trigger that Sakuyamon every turn when you attack. Like I said, it's just a downfall. It's 11,000 DP, so when you swing at security, it's like a 70-ish% chance that you could, okay? And you don't have barrier on this one. So and then let's jump to the Rika, the new Tamer. Has an on-play reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card with Renamon, Cubimon, Talmon, or Sakuyamon in its name, and 1 option card with plug-in in its name among them to the hand. Turn the rest of the bottom of the deck. That's pretty cool. So this Rika is going to help you set up by getting your Digimon pieces and an option card with plug-in in its name. So you wouldn't be able to pick up like Kaiser Nail, Crimson Blaze, any tech option cards that you guys are going to use for that deck. Your turn. When you use an option card with the cost of 2 or more, by suspending this Tamer, gain 1 memory. I mean, that'll work. It doesn't even matter if it's once per turn because you have to suspend the Rika anyway. It only hurts the deck if you're running cards like I said, Crimson Blaze, Kaiser Nail, or cards that aren't going to have plug-in in its name, because then you'll bottom deck them. But aside from that, I mean, that's pretty good. If you're at 0, you use the, let's say you Digivolve, you use option card, trigger Rika, gain a memory, and now you could go into a maid mode, if I'm not mistaken, for 1 or whatever, and then keep your turn going. That's how it works. Let's talk about Terriermon now. So Terriermon, BT19, like I said, these rookies will have the same thing. If you have Henry, in this case it's Henry, or Gallantmon in play, gain 1 memory. Could be pretty good, but the Rapidmon deck, I mean, having more memory isn't going to hurt you, but it doesn't need it as much as you would think, because you're running all these, the Sakuyamon deck does not have that much space to be running like the training boost, the memory boost, the scrambles, because you want to run in plug-in cards, right? Or these other tech cards that you want to play for play cost 5 or less. So Terriermon has more availability to utilize those cards, and that where the memory isn't really required for you to have that much, because you can reduce it or gain it from option cards, but still good. Now, what I thought was interesting here was the inherits. 1 attacking, once per turn, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. This does quite a few things. This eliminates you using the Henry, the OG Henry, that when a Digimon with Gargomon or Terriermon or Rapidmon in its name attacks, then you can tap the Tamer and suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. So it gets rid of having to use Henry, but he is a memory setter. I'll see what the new Henry does. That might just, you know, I mean, people aren't even using this Henry anymore anyway. In my current build, I'm only running one. Just because, well, what the hell? Why not? It will help trigger the Rapidmon X antibody. That's where I'm going with this. I don't think you'll see a 4 of this Terriermon, but I think you'll at least see like 1 or 2 kind of just teched in there, because this is going to help the Rapidmon X, especially if you want to clear your opponent's board. Because remember, Rapidmon X antibody is, so long as you have it, so long as, you know what, let me just pull it up. While you have Rapidmon or X antibody in your sources, all of your opponent's suspended Digimon get minus 4,000. So that's a blanket effect. So now the Terriermon is going to suspend a Digimon when Rapidmon attacks, and now it's going to automatically give it minus 4,000 DP. Now it sucks that you can't do it to attack that Digimon, because they're both trigger, you know, you have to suspend and or attack to trigger the inherit. But the way you can see it is now you could kind of go over blockers, and you can get minus 4,000 DP. So that Terriermon is actually going to be pretty good. This Gargomon is going to have the when Digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer Tamers, you may play a Henry Wong from your hand without paying the cost. Pretty good. The inherit is the same as the Terriermon, which is suspending a Digimon when you attack. If you are going to run a build with Henrys in it, I do see this card being played in the deck. 1, 2 of, maybe 4, I don't know, I don't think so. But with the 2, I think that's pretty much a sweet spot, because once you have 1 Henry or 1 Tamer, you're kind of set to go, unless you have Tamers that kind of stack on each other and help you do a lot of stuff. Rapidmon Ace. Blast Digivolve. On play and when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. Then one of their Digimon or Tamers can't unsuspend until the end of their turn. Cool. Overflow of 3, and then an inherit. Your turn. This Digimon gets 4,000 DP. I think that's great for Rapidmon X again. Excuse me. Because of the lack of DP, 11,000 DP, now it's going to be 15,000. And you have Armor Purge, but now that's just adding on to making this Rapidmon like bulkier or like harder to beat, right? Because now, yes, if it hits something in the security and it gets deleted, it has Armor Purge and revert back to its prior form. But you don't want that, you know? You want to keep it. Unless so sometimes where you do want to do it, have it delete, and now you can go into another one and or a Mega Gargo Ace. So I don't think you'll see too much of these. I like that it does suspend something and it doesn't unsuspend until the end of their turn, which then kind of, I mean, the Rapidmon X just helps you suspend them anyway when it digivolves. So it's an okay card at best. Probably like a 1 of 2. I'm gonna try it out, see how it is, and gauge it. The new Mega Gargomon. First of all, 5 to Digivolve. They didn't even add the black text of Digivolve from a Rapidmon. Play cost of 4. Now, they could have done it with level 5 Rapidmon 4. They could have done that. That way you won't do it from Rapidmon level 4s. But they didn't. They just said, nah, we're just gonna leave them at 5. Built-in security attack plus 1. Cool. 13,000 DP. Cool. When Digivolving and when attacking, you may return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. It's good. It's good. What makes this card good is going to be the Terriermon and the Gargomons that when you attack, you can suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. You would trigger this inherit first, and then you would trigger the one attacking inherit. Ideally, if there's 2 Digimon suspended, when you do Digivolve into the Mega Gargomon, then the one Digivolving takes care of one, and when you attack, you take care of the other one. Security attack plus 1. It's an okay card, but why would you play this when you have Mega Gargo Ace? It's essentially the same thing, and honestly, being able to attack, unsuspend, and attack again is better than security attack plus 1. Because if your opponent has 1 security, You swing with this one, it doesn't matter how much security attack plus you have. You only have the one to go off. You need another attack to win game. So that's why the Mega Gargo Ace is beautiful, because now you swing, unsuspend, take care of that security, and then swing again. I'll try it just to try it. But yeah, it's probably not going to be in the final, video. Well, it might be. I don't know. Let's talk about this new Henry. Starting your main phase, if you have a Digimon with Terriermon, Gargomon, or Raptormon in its name, gain 1 memory. All turns. When any of your Digimon digivolve into a green Digimon by suspending this Tamer, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Okay. I think this is actually going to be good. Because it's a blanket for the all turns, right? When any of your Digimon digivolves into a green Digimon, by suspending this Tamer, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. And then the gain a memory. I could see some play with this Henry for sure. It's basically they took Willis and Henry and kind of put them into one, but it's more of a Willis just with Henry in its name. And besides the hatching where you don't hatch on play, you just get the memory. Okay, I might use it too. Let's go ahead and move on to the Guilmon line. So we got the Guilmon, like I said, starting your main phase. These rookies have, if you have their respective Tamers or Calumon, you gain a memory. All turns, while you have 0 or less memory, add 2000 to this Digimon's DP based deletion effects. So remember, this doesn't work for like option cards like Atomic Blaster or Crimson Blaze. It doesn't work for that. It's Digimon's DP, or Digimon effects in this case. Good Guilmon. I do see it having some play, but we have the Searcher Guilmon. We got the new X Antibody Guilmon. That's already taking up 2 slots. Can't remember the other one. Even the Rush Guilmon you might use, taking 1 or 2 of. Late game, you just drop it. If you have 20 cards, you get Rush. So I don't know if you'll see too much play with this Guilmon, maybe like a few copies of, but a whole playset? I don't think so. Growlmon, when Digivolving, you get to play a Takato if you have 1 Tamer or less. Phenomenal, because like I said, sometimes you just play a Tamer and you can't take advantage of the old Growlmon's effect. I'll pull it up real quick. Oh, Growlmon, what are you? Not that one pops. It's the old one. Where are you? This one, here you go. So if you don't have a Takato, you can play it. And then that's it. So that one just lets you play 2 essentially. Just so much better. The Inherit has the same thing as the Guilmon from the new one from BT19. So it could help. It will really help with the X Antibody of Gallantmon. Because then, you have the end of attack. If you didn't delete a Digimon, you can unsuspend and trash one. So this will help its when Digivolving effect. That makes sense. Good card overall. War Growlmon Ace. It is a Ace card with a overflow of -3 when it gets removed from the field. On play, when Digivolving, delete up to 3000 DP total worth of your opponent's Digimon. For each of their Digimon, add 2000 to this DP based deletion effects maximum. Then for each card deleted by this effect, gain 1 memory. This is great for countering decks like Diaboromon with all those tokens. Pretty good. Or like even Syndrol, right? They use tokens, or anything that uses tokens. I think this card is great against. All turns, add 3000 to this Digimon's DP based deletion effects. I think you'll see a tech of 1 or 2, no more than that, because we have such good War Growlmons already. You have this one that if you don't delete something, you get to Digivolve, and then you have the Takato with Blitz, and then the end of attack is you 2 memory back, which is great. So you have that War Growlmon, you have the X Antibody, the new X Antibody, and you have the purple, this one, red and purple one, where it mills, and then you get to play a Tamer and or a Guilmon from your hand or trash. So that's why I don't think you'll see too much play of the Ace, but I still think you'll see 1 or 2 of. Let's talk about this new Gallantmon. This artwork is sick. It looks like that would be like the alt art. When digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8000 DP or less. If this effect didn't delete, this Digimon gains piercing and gets 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. This is just like the other Gallantmon. It does the same thing, except it gives you blocker. This one just gives you piercing. Your turn, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted, gain 2 memory. It's actually pretty cool. So it is a 4 cost, but when digivolving, especially if you have it stacked with Growlmon Ace or a Guilmon or the Growlmon, that gives an extra 2k. So you got, wait, that one's 3. So 3, 5, 7, 8. Digivolving, you could pop something with 15,000 DP or less. You won't get the piercing or the DP, but then you'll gain 2 memory. So now it'll cost 2 instead of 4. It really doesn't matter because you're going to have that Takato that has Blitz. So ideally, the way they made these Gallantmon cards, they kind of made it like, okay, yeah, you can delete Digimon, but if you don't delete them, you get a better benefit, such as unsuspending, or you gain a keyword, or you gain DP. So that's kind of what they did with that. So it's a good Gallantmon card. I don't think you'll see much play with that card. The new Takato. Memory Setter, cool. Your turn. When any of your Digimon digivolves into a Digimon card with Growlmon or Gallantmon in its name, by suspending this tamer, the Digimon gains raid for the turn. Then it attacks the player. Oh, fuck. This replaces the Blitz Takato. This replaces the Gallantmon BT12 that has raid built in. This is why I guess it just works with this one now, because now you're going to get the piercing if you don't delete something though. It's a catch. You have to not delete something. But man, you could give Gallantmon raid, and it's in its name, the Growlmon or Gallantmon. Oh, but it's only when they digivolve. But it's crazy that it gets Blitz. It gets Blitz, and it could attack anything because it's giving it raid. So you attack the player, you just redirect it to the Digimon. Or you just attack the player and choose not to raid. Oh my. This might have just replaced Blitz Takato. I don't know. I might still take in 1 or 2 because it gets the memory when you do delete. Although it's only your turn. That's crazy. Let's talk about these 2 option cards here that I haven't talked about. We have red card. While your opponent has a white Digimon or Tamer, you may ignore this color's requirement. Oh wow. So this is going back to, if you've seen the series, it's kind of like when they're going against Mother and the Dig Reapers. They're all white. So that's why they put that on there. Main effect. One of your Digimon is unaffected by the effects of your opponent's option cards and can't have its DP reduced until the end of your opponent's turn. That's not bad. But nowadays, see, back in the day, if we had this would be very good because a lot of people played like security effects, right? What's it called? Like damn, I can't remember what's it called. Secon, security control. A lot of people play that, and it was so annoying. There was really nothing past it besides playing a delicate plan when you attack. But this is great because you also can have your DP reduced. And the security effect, you add it to the hand, so which is nice because you don't really have to run that many unless it's in the security. So maybe 1 or 2 of. I don't see this getting much play. Now, if it was unaffected by your opponent's Digimon effects, that'd be nuts. That'd be crazy. Good overall. That's a good card. Trinity Burst. If you have a level 5 War Growlmon, Talmon, or Rapidmon, you may ignore the color's requirements. Okay. Play 1 War Growlmon, 6000 DP, 1 Talmon, 6000 DP, and 1 Rapidmon. Token. This effect may not play a token with the same name as any of your Digimon. Then for the turn, one of your level 5 gains Alliance twice, and it attacks. Okay, if I'm reading that right, if you have one of the 3, you get to play the other two. You can't play the third one that you already have. Therefore, you'll always have 3. One of them gets Alliance twice. So therefore, you can tap both tokens that you played out. And it attacks. So it gets blitz. Security effect. You may play one level 5 War Growlmon, Talmon, or Rapidmon from your hand without paying the cost. That's crazy. Like what? For 8 cost though? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you're going to see much play with this one just because, I mean, it's an 8 cost. But you are playing essentially 3, but they're tokens. Tokens you can never digivolve on top, so you won't even be able to blast or anything like that. It'll be +2, right? So, oh, I didn't even take account the DP, so they all have 6. So you would give that Digimon 6,000 DP. Now, if one of them happens to get piercing, for example, like the Staccato, if your War Growlmon had digivolved, you tap it, give it raid, then it attacks the player. Oh, you wouldn't be able to. I guess you would have to have piercing, but you have the raid. Then it says then attacks the player, so you're forced to attack. Therefore, you wouldn't be able to play this, bring out the other tokens, give it Alliance. I don't know. Nah, you're not gonna see play with that. Overall, good cards. Cards that are needed for almost all the decks. Terriermon, I think it's the short end of the stick this time. Renamon has good cards coming out, and the Gyomon does as well. I am going to do all of these that are coming out since it did get delayed for a week. I'm like, you know what? Let me make video talking about the support cards that are coming out in this dual set. So stay tuned. Check out the other ones. I'll catch you guys there.